Yes, it is game day. Defense begins. Our Blues are going for it. Aloha, hockey fans, and welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, your host on the program that is by a fan, for the fans, and about you, the fans. Oh my goodness, what a crazy playoffs we've had so far. It has just been out of this world. This is the show for August 6th. The craziness that just continues to go. I'll talk about that. I have two contests coming up. I'll talk to that after I talk about the game. And then the round robin game twos. Something interesting could be happening. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about what we've learned. First, we've learned that the refs really like the sound of their whistles. They're calling everything. It kind of makes sense though. After this long layoff, you know, it's just like the the regular season, the exhibition, the first month of the season, there's a lot more penalties called. Everyone's trying to learn. Everyone's trying to check the new rules. A lot of that, and it feels like that a little bit, right? We also learned that the Canes are scary good. I mean, last season, Mike Dante, he was all over the Canes until they played Boston. And you know what? I'm on that Cane boat this year. They take down the Rangers in 3 straight. This team with the whole, wow, they are good. Edmondson chasing another ring. The 12-5 curse is well and alive. I'll talk about that in a second. And old Boston, big old target. Big target. All over their back. Well, let's talk about yesterday's games and where the series are at. So the first game we'll talk about is the Islanders at the Panthers. The Islanders were up 2-0. This is a surprise to me. I thought this would go 5. I thought that the Panthers would win this. Well, Panthers decided they weren't getting swept. Coach Q had them all going, and they ended up winning 3-2. The second game, this is another surprise. The Coyotes beat the Predators. The mighty Preds go down 4-1. Way to go, Coyotes. Coyotes are up 2-1, and their next game is an elimination game. The surprise, like to talk about, the Boston have a big old target on their back. They lost to the Flyers, and then they turn around and lose in a late game, just like the Blues lost late in their first time. Not as heartbreaking, but close. They lose 3-2 to the Lightning. They're 0-2 now. The best they can do is second place, and that's an iffy second place. I really think that the best that's going to happen for them is third or even last. Then the game that's important to us was the Avalanche at the Stars. Avalanche came in and spink of that butt, 4-0. 2-0. 2-0 with the Stars being 0-2-0. It leaves for a chance for a very interesting scenario come Saturday and Sunday. Canadians, that 12-5 that I talked about, here's the Canadians. They beat Pittsburgh with a late goal, 4-3. They're up 2-1 in that series. This is one that I think is done. I think that Montreal is going to win this one. Surprise, I didn't think it originally, but now I've always thought that Pittsburgh might be a one-line team, and they're kind of showing that. And then you have the other one, the Blackhawks, very late, beat the Oilers 4-3. The Oilers, one-line team to me, with Draisaitl and McDavid, and they did all the scoring. They scored the 3 goals. Draisaitl had 2, McDavid had 1. Where's the rest of the team? You know, more people got to get involved. That's my problem with Connor McDavid. Everyone talks about him being all-world. I just feel like he doesn't make those around him better, and he's not a great defensive player. That's how I feel. Now, for our game, well, actually, let's get in today's games. Today's games, we'll start with the Canucks at the Wild. This is tied at 1. The Wild have played really well in that second game, and they have a chance to take something from this. I've always said I thought that the Canucks were just a blowout team to me. The Wild can prove it. The next game is the Caps at the Flyers. Caps are 0-1 with the Flyers 1-0-0. If the Flyers win this, they're 2-0, and so are the Lightning. So the next time they play, that'll be for the number 1 seed. Caps really need this win. If the Caps get this win in regulation, it will make it so. Well, no, there still could be some ties in there, so we'll see what happens. Then the third game is our game, the Knights at the Blues. Knights are 1-0-0, Blues are 0-1-0. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Then we have the Leafs at the Jackets, that's tied. This has become a good series. The last series of the Flames at the Jets. Flames are up 2-1. This could be an elimination game. So let's get into and talk about our game. So on NHL.com, they talked about the 3 keys to the game, and number 2 was the Blues look to start the offense. They talked about Schwartz, Schenn, and Tarasenko only having 3 shots and being a -3 in 2 games. That just ain't going to work. Coach Berube said that they need to have the puck more. They need to do more with the puck when they have it, and they need to stay in the offensive zone and create offense. I agree with that. Pietrangelo and Tarasenko are 2 of the players that I think have played very poorly and need to play much better. And in the words of my buddy Mike Dante, Tarasenko needs to effing step it up. Right? Lines for the Golden Knights. Stephenson, Carlson, and Stone on the top line. Marchand, Stastny, and Smith on the second line. Cousins, Touche, and Roy on the third line. Carrier, Nozick, and our boy Ryan Reeves on the fourth line. Then for the defense, they have McNabb and Schmidt, Martinez and Theodore, Holden and Whitecloud, with Fury or Leitner, and that could go either way. For the Blues, the lineup has stayed the same. Schwartz, Schenn, Tarasenko, Stanford, O'Reilly, Perron, Blaze, Thomas, Bozak. However, Thomas has something minor and could sit with Kyrou taking his place. McKenzie McCachran, Sundqvist, and Steen on the fourth line. The defensive pairs shift a little bit. Gunnarsson and Pietrangelo are the top pair. Scandella and Parayko the middle pair. And Bortuzzo replaces Dunn along with Falk. Goalies, Bennington and Allen. Neither coach has set a line yet, or set a goalie yet, so my guess is it's going to be Allen and Fleury, but we'll see. So in the last 3 games that the Blues have played the Vegas Golden Knights, the Knights are 2-0-1, the Blues are 1-0-2. Blues beat them in St. Louis 4-2. They lost in overtime 5-4 and 6-5 in January and February, respectively. The numbers: power play, Blues are at 22%. Or pardon me, the Knights are at 22. The Blues are at 24. Penalty kill 76.6 to 79.3. I mean, the Blues have the statistical advantage here. Face-off 51.6 to 50. Goals per game, the Knights are at 3.16. The Blues are at 3.14. Defense, the Blues have a much better defense, 2.94 to 2.68. I talked a little bit about goalies. I don't know who's going to show up. This is kind of, I mean, these are the 4 best. These are the 2 best tandems that are out there right now, I think. These are it. These are the guys that are going to get things done. So what do I think is going to happen? Well, first of all, something really neat could happen. If the Blues beat the Knights, they'll be 1-0. The Knights will be 1-0, or 1-1. The Blues will be 1-1. The Knights will be 1-1. Stars 0-2. The Avalanche 2-0. If the Blues beat the Stars, they'll be in regulation. They'll be 2-1. Well, if the Blues beat the Stars, they'll be 2-1. If the Knights beat the Avalanche, they'll be 2-1. The Avalanche will be 2-1 in regulation. They'll all have 4 points, and the Blues will get the number 1 seed due to the tiebreaker. Pretty interesting. What do I think is going to happen? I actually think the Blues have never lost in regulation to the Golden Knights, and I don't think they're going to lose to them again. I'm worried about it going to overtime. I think that the Blues know that this game is more important to them than it is the Knights. They cannot go 0-2. They cannot be in Dallas's position. They cannot be the 4th seed, though they may not care. I don't think it matters who starts, but I'm really looking forward to this game, and I'm going to call it Knights 2, Blues 4. And my pick to click is Pietrangelo. We'll see. So let's talk about my contest. I have 2 contests going. That's right, 2 of them. Got some really good prizes too. So let's talk about the first contest. The first contest is open to everybody, and it is on the NHL.com, the Bracket Challenge. If you go to bracketchallenge.nhl.com /leagues/Blue Note -fan -report -cup and enter the password Blue Note Fan Report. I'm going to show it right here. This is the way it needs to show up. The way you're seeing it below me is how that password needs to show up. After the round robin is done, they will open it up to pick. The points are preset. Whoever wins is going to get this bad boy. Now, before you say, what is this? This is a signed and authenticated Kevin Shattenkirk jersey. I hope you can see it there. This is the first place prize. Now, I'm reaching out and trying to see if I can get some more prizes. For every 10 participants, from 1 to 10, I will give, or 1 to 20, I will give 1 prize. From 20 to 30, I will give 2, 30 to 40, 3, 40 to 50, 4, so on and so forth. So go ahead, join that, and have your chance to win that jersey. I think it's neat. And anybody who enters is eligible to win that jersey but me. Beat me, and you can win that jersey. We'll see. Now, my second contest is on the Hawaii Blues Fan Clan. And I'm not going to go into the specifics of it, except it's a pick'em challenge, and it's for Blues games, and it starts in round 1. If you want to know more about that and how that contest goes, I will make a separate video and put it in the Hawaii Blues Fan Clan in the next day or so. So if you haven't joined the Hawaii Blues Fan Clan, go ahead and look for it and join the Blues Fan Clan. Well, from there, where do we go? It is that time. It is time for one of my favorite segments and one of the things that I love to do the most. It is time for About the Fan. That's right, guys. It is time for Fan of the Game, Tattoo of the Game, and Pet of the Game. And boy, have I got a good Pet of the Game. So let's go ahead now. If you want to be one of these, all you got to do, here's my contact information. You see it? Send me an email, send me a text, send me something, and say, I want to be Fan of the Game. I want my tattoo shown. I want my pet on the show. Or you want to nominate somebody. Go ahead and do that. That's all you got to do. And then I'll tell you more from that point. So let's go to my Fan of the Game. Now there's one thing I've learned about Blues fans. Blues fans really, really care about each other. I was contacted earlier by a gentleman named Mike Brown. Mike told me about a gentleman named Dave Roach. Mike nominated Dave Roach. Now, the reason this is important is, first of all, Dave has a connection to the Blues. He was the rink manager at the Chesterfield Ice Complex when the Blues used that as a practice facility with the likes of Hull and Gretzky and Dimitra and so many others, Pronger and McGinnis and, you know, Kachuk, and the names go on and on and on. David was definitely a loved man. Unfortunately, in 2019, shortly after the Blues won the Cup, David was diagnosed with cancer. David was really happy that he got to see the Blues win the Cup, and he fought his cancer hard, Unfortunately, in February of this year, on the 10th, he lost his battle. David got something really special. When the Cup was at Centrine, Mike called the Blues, let him know he was coming and he was in a wheelchair, and the Blues really held a special night for him. You got to appreciate the Blues, and you got to appreciate somebody like Mike. Mike, we're all thinking of you. You're in our thoughts. We know you're in a better place. We know you're not in pain. Mike, it is my pleasure, and your sister, I didn't get her name. My heart goes out to her, but it is my pleasure for you to be my fan of the game. Thanks, Mike. Or thanks, Dave. Sorry, God, I'm getting it mixed up. Dave, thank you. Thanks to your sister, and thank you to Mike Brown for nominating you as fan of the game. Next, tattoo of the game, and oh, have I got a good one. Remember the last time when I just kind of stared at it like this? Yeah, I'm doing the same thing at this one. This one is on Ryan Perantoni. Man, I'm killing names. It looks like Petrangelo, so Perantoni. There we go. I sounded it out. He sent me this pic of this gorgeous tat. It is the Stanley Cup just coming out of his skin with the St. Louis flag behind it. Ryan said he loves the Blues. He wanted a tattoo, but not until the Blues won the Cup. He's been a fan since he was 9 years old. You know what? This is a great tattoo. It was done by P.J. Peel at 13 Roses Tattoo in Maryland Heights, my hometown. I think it's very colorful. It's very, very. You can tell what it is. It's got great shadowing. It's got great highlights. The coloring just brings it out. It's still new, so it's still going in, but just it's vibrant. This is the type of tattoo I love. PJ, great job. You really took this one to the next level. This skin rip is great. Ryan, sorry I killed your last name. Thank you for being my fan of the game. Okay, I have a famous pet of the game. Not who you think it is, but maybe somebody you know. You see this little guy here? This French Bulldog? His name is Blue Anderson. Let that sink in for a second. Yes, that Anderson. This is Layla's dog. Scott and Layla own her. She's a French Bulldog. Her name is Blue. When Layla named her, she wanted to incorporate the St. Louis Blues somehow, so they named her Blue, B-L-U. Great name. Basically, Layla was promised to have a French Bulldog before she got sick, but they had to wait until after to get it for her. And now was the time. This is a beautiful French Bulldog. Layla looks so happy with them. And by the way, Scott's laid up right now with his leg from surgery. And I heard Layla is doing a great job of taking care of Blue and Scott. Layla, you know my heart is always with you. And I have an open invitation to you through your dad. If you ever want to come on the show and talk to me for a little bit and tell us about your experience, doors wide open, Layla. Please join us. I'd love to see it. You know, guys, great show. I enjoy doing it. There's nothing more fun than making this happen. I keep thinking about how great it is and all the great things that you guys are bringing to me. One thing that I do want to talk about real quick is Ryan Reaves decided to take a knee with some other players at the last game, and he has gotten some backlash for it from people. I got to tell you, as a Navy vet, as someone who spent 20 years defending the nation, when I said my oath of enlistment, I said I promise, or I swear, or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the First Amendment of the Constitution gives us the right to assembly, the right to protest. By kneeling, they are using that right. And by using that right, I feel they honor my service because I protected the Constitution and they're using that forward. I went to a high school that was heavily, that was mixed. I have many friends that are of different nationalities, and I got to tell you, I would kneel. And normally, if you know me, when I go to a game and I do the anthem, and the anthem comes on, I do two things. First thing is I do not remove my hat, and the second thing is I come to attention and I salute. That is my way to honor the military. If I was to protest, I would take a knee. And I've thought about it, I really have. My daughter wants me to, but at the moment I can't. But you know what? I got something special. Hey, Martin boys, what do you got going on?
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha, mahalo. I'm bleeding blue with you, and I'll see you again on the next Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha!